And I want you at nighttime, especially, I don't know how much water you drink, maybe 2 hours of regular water. Force yourself to drink that water. And you're going to begin to see the difference when you go to the laboratory and you relieve yourself. When you
Mm-hmm.
wake up in the morning, let's say, for instance, you may take an aspirin or something like that. It's going to purify you. And you want to do your exercise. Not everything is for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to, I don't know how, if you have a 3-story house or whatever, but you want to start from the bottom step to the top step. Go up and down, go up and down, up and down. For as long as you can do that. And when you want to do your exercise with your car, you can do that with your car. You can wipe your car, you move in arm motions. And you talked about your arms, you want to lose that weight in your arms. Go
Mm-hmm.
on that water diet and your vegetables. Whatever I heard you say about some vegetables that you can't eat because you was allergic to it. And start doing
Fruits,
that, Cal.
but I can
And
do vegetables.
meditate,
Okay,
ma'am.
I can do
And
vegetables.
yes, ma'am. And meditate, Cal, because when you're burning a lot of, because you're a high energy person. But the key thing about it, I want you to get this movie too. Get the movie called The Fantastic Voice. This nurse liked me back in the day, and I thought it was going to be very boring when I went to the movie to see her. It
Mm-hmm.
shows you just how that body works. It takes you inside. It was I was talking one of the doctors about it. He said, yeah, man. He said, that was and you will see, Cal, how the body works. But the most important thing about your life expansions is keeping that colon clean. You don't
Wait,
want to
wait,
use
wait.
a lot of these old medicines that they have on the market, but those natural almonds have done wonders for me. Also, I don't know if you
Almonds.
swim, Cal, but you want to go in the pool. You may can't swim like I can swim, but you want to use that water. And I want you to also, Cal, to sit in the sun. The sun is energy. It really gives you energy. And I think you will begin to see a big change in life. But please, at nighttime, get them almonds, eat them almonds, have that bowel movement, Cal, meditate, and you'll begin to see. When people go to the hospital, first thing they do, they put them on some kind of diet. They put
Mm-hmm.
them on some kind of diet or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then when you see them again, they have lost weight. That's
This
the
is
key
true.
thing to your life, especially you women. The lady that raised me, she did these things, but I'm talking about now with me, because I had to go to work on the farm and everything. And I'm looking at myself, Cal, because I do have good genes. I have very good genes, and
Mm-hmm.
it will help you. But as far as your arms, once again, you want to move those arms up and down. You can lie right in your bed, Cal. Lie in your bed,
Yeah.
put your pillows up, lay back and move your arm back and forward. And then when
Yep.
you do your car, that's exercise. Because weight is usually it comes under stress, Cal. When you get stressed out, people eat and all like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
want you to meditate and drink that water in them almonds once again, Cal, because it's going to cleanse your body. It will cleanse you, beloved. And you're going
Ron.
to see a difference in your weight. Everything is not for everybody, running and all that stuff. I know this is very helpful, but for you, and you'll begin to see your weight come down because your skin and everything will begin to change. Not Muslim, someone like something like that, and you'll be just fine because stress will cause you to do a lot of gain weight, all that
It,
stuff.
it
So you
sure
want to
can.
meditate. And now, I repeat that again, and I
Okay.
just hope that you need your help this year. We know that, Cal, and this will be very helpful. Clean that colon out. May
Almonds.
you bless and hope tomorrow be a brighter day for you.
And it will. I'm claiming that. Before you go, Ron, what was the name of the movie? The Fantastic what? Ron has left us. Ron, thank you. Thank you, as always, for sharing the information and the positivity. I got to get some almonds, y'all. Ron said, get some almonds. I believe we have one more family member waiting to talk with us. Are you still there?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, my name is CT. I
Hi,
have a
Siti.
bachelor's degree in nutrition. So first of all, food is a science. But because of the time, I'm a piggyback off of Ron. Water all day. You can't. If a person doesn't like water, to incorporate that into your diet, you can first start off putting like lemon juice or fruit in it. Just regular lemon, no sugar. until you becomes a habit. So the key of losing weight and a good diet is, first, it starts in your mind. You have to sit at this table, like you can use as Ron said, meditate. You have to decide that you don't want to be where you are, and you want to be to another place if that's far as weight for anyone. And we also need to understand that just as Ron said, what works for one person might not work for the other guy. And just like our fingerprint, everybody biochemically, whether you're siblings or not, are individuals. And how your body reacts to different things is different. But the key is quality living food. And I want you to think about your ancestors or your grandparents or your great-grandparents. There was no Planet Fitness. There was no weight. I walk 3 to 6 miles a day. You don't have to do it every day. Walking, but the exercise is the mouth. It's what goes in. And that means you want to eat quality food until you get the discipline where you want to be. Then you have to continue on. If you fall off, you have to say, okay, I messed up. But another thing we don't need is sugar. We don't need sugar. If you start reading the labels and you go on a sugar fast, you're going to drop some weight. And the body will normally drop to the weight that is where it should be for you. For water and processed foods.
Eliminating processed foods, eliminating sugar.
Processed food, this is a good way to know what I'm talking about. If you don't understand what it says, if it says beef and some words that you can't pronounce, you probably need to rethink if you want to even eat that. If anything processed, when you go into the grocery store, that's a lot of stuff because it's processed. And if you can sit it on the counter and it can sit out there for months and doesn't change, that's not living food. We're living beings. And once again, I just want people to think about your grandparents and your great-grandparents. They cook their food. You have to cook your food. What I'm trying to say, once you get yourself disciplined the way you want to be, you can have the little sidebars and 80% of eating well, and then you can allow 20% to do crazy stuff. But the 80% of getting your body where you want it to be, and that's living food. Going to farmers that's co-oping, that's producing good food, quality meat, quality vegetables, and doing meal prep. And instead of going to McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, make a sandwich and take your lunch with you. I worked for 30-some years, and I took my lunch every day because it's sure going to save you some money. But you can treat yourself on payday. I'll say I did that. But I'm just saying,
I'm taking all of this in.
I'm going to end on this. Do not beat yourself when you fail, when you fall off. You say, okay, because I'm talking about myself. I'm 61, and I was I was a small person by nature, but I had gained weight because of my job. And then I just decided I was going to lose the 20 pounds and keep it off. And I have. And I'm not doing nothing spectacular. The gym does not maintain the weight. I see people in there that I've been going to the gym with and they ain't dropped a pound. Because if you ain't controlling the exercise of the mouth, you ain't going to control the size of your body. Because you don't really have to go to the gym to lose weight. You just got to control your intake.
Miss CT, that's a whole word right there. When you said the gym doesn't do anything for me, but you are so right about controlling what I put in my mouth.
And for your arms, I'm a veteran, and this is a fact. When we went for training, when I went in training, we didn't go to no gym. It was push up and sit up.
Push ups.
If you can do one push up on your knees as a female, you don't have to do the 1 minute. You start off with one. I gotta say this: discipline. Take your time. You didn't get where you at overnight, and you sure ain't gonna recover overnight. And if you set a goal for a year, you will see it, and then you will win. When we try to do something quick that didn't happen quick, We don't. It's you don't. You normally some a lot of times you don't sustain it. It's about sustaining and just wanting to live a better life. And I just thank you for listening. I hope I help someone out there. It's simple, people. Good food, good water, good people, and get some rest. And just like Ron said, get your vitamin D from the sun. Get as much as you can from living food, because we are living beings. And have a wonderful day.
Miss CT, thank you so much for that. Thank you for all of that. Y'all saw me writing, I was taking my notes. I was writing my notes down. So I've got, I've been charged with some things and watch. I'm going to do it, y'all. I'm going to do it. Y'all, I'm going to do it. As we move further, I told you that we have another wonderful guest that I want you to meet. Our next guest is the founder and CEO of Walk in Them Shoes, LLC, an empowerment firm helping women who want more out of life. She is a motivational, inspirational speaker, author, personal development strategist, and mentor to women. She's also known as the She Shifter because she helps women shift into elevation. Her mission is to help women navigate life on this journey of becoming by teaching, empowering, and inspiring them to blaze the trail to success by healing from the pain of their past. She focuses on personal development by working holistically and spiritually, and she helps with building confidence, overcoming self doubt, finding meaning and purpose in life. And she also helps women start their own businesses. I should have said, and I mean, listen, I, family, want you to meet the she shifter herself, Ms. Darnice Bragg. Hello there, beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Hello, Kara. How are you?
I will not and cannot complain. You hear me? I won't do it. I won't do it. I
Thank you.
will not.
That introduction was amazing. Thank you so much. I
I'm
appreciate you.
excited to share with everyone all that you are doing and have done, and especially, I don't know how much of what you heard from what we were just discussing, and we're talking about our health, and we had our tune up, and then Miss CT, Ron, and Miss CT, brother Ron, and Miss CT called, and I mean, when I tell you they pulled up the whole rear and just got, listen, they got us all together.
Thank
Um,
you. I
did
tuned
you
in
did
to
you
the
hear that?
part of that gentleman speaking about working out. All of what I do, not as disciplined to do it every day, but I definitely apply walking to my, I incorporate that into my life all day, every day, whether it's Monday,
Mm,
Saturday, and Sunday. That's a necessity. But
you're
yes,
so
working out,
disciplined.
drinking that water. Mr. Ron hit it right on the nail, but he got me with the almonds.
Well, you know what? That's not the first time I heard that. And as a matter of fact, my cousin, she swears by almonds. She swears by them. They work well for her. So I might just give it a try. I think I will. And now I definitely know the water. I've got to do better with the water. And everything Miss CT said, everything she shared, is definitely something that I need to incorporate. But walking did work for me, quite, walking did. So I need to, like I said, I need to be more disciplined and get back to some of the things that did work for me. But we have you here to talk with us, okay, about walk in them shoes. So I want our family members to be familiar with what you're doing, how you're doing, and everything that comprises walk in them shoes. I want to know all about it.
Well, again, thank you so much for having me. As you said, and as I am, I am because he is.
I know
Uh,
that's right.
um, I am the founder of this wonderful organization. And so often when I introduce myself and introduce the organization, I always say it's a wonderful organization. And it's not just what I bring to the table, but what others allow me to offer and what others also open up to, because I believe everyone wants to change. and change is not easy. But I think with my spiritual tact and my spiritual gift that I bring something a little bit different, a little spice and a lot of different things that I bring into it when I'm speaking to someone, when I'm helping someone on this journey of becoming. So Walking Them Shoes is the organization to help empower. And it's not just a quote, it's not just a saying, it really is a way of life, you know, because life happens to all of us, happens to all
Indeed.
of us in so many different facets. Some people are faced with so many different challenges, not just one challenge at a time, but I mean multiple. And you can be married, you can be single, you can, have children, be childrenless, you could be male, female, different nationalities. Life is going to happen to you. And sometimes it's not easy to say, hey, I need some help.
Hmm.
It is not easy to face the fears. So a lot of times women need that assistance. The gentleman prior to me was speaking, and he was speaking in terms of getting like a somewhat of an accountability partner. And I think in life coaching, that's what we that's what we become. That's who we are, and helping that woman get through. When they say that I can't, when she say I can't or I don't feel like it, we become that strength. We become that motivator to them. And I'm so passionate about it. I hear uh, when people introduce me, and those are actually my words, but when they introduce me, it just does something to my spirit. And I just love it. I love what I do. I love the gift and the talent that God has placed, the anointing that God has placed on my life.
I love that. So I'm first of all, I want to say thank you for joining us. But secondly, thank you for answering the call and to accepting this mission of helping us, helping women. Um, I'm curious to know though, what inspired you to start walking them shoes?
I'm going to say this without tearing up.
Okay.
um, so in 2017 is when I formed this organization, but I believe it started way before then, Carol. My gift of being able to listen and then speak and help heal women started way before. And actually, I want to say way before I even started having children because, something about us, when we have a gift, sometimes we don't always know what that gift is or how even to operate in that gift. But
Sure.
when you realize it and you look back, you'll see, oh wow, this was in me all along, or I was already operating in this form or this fashion all along. But women were like drawn to me. And we all have that girlfriend that we may go sit at their table, and it's something about the kitchen table, but we'll always have someone that we can either talk on the phone to or go and sit at their kitchen table and talk to. And although I didn't have a lot of women or a lot of best friends that flocked at my kitchen table, it was always the telephone call and bending of the ear and crying on the phone and needing the comfort and the support. And even when my children were in like high school, I know that some of their girlfriends would flock to our home, and would
Mhm.
always be so comfortable sharing, and it wasn't until my former bishop, Bishop Andrew James Ford the second, spoke a word in my life. And when he spoke that word in my life, it was the confirmation because it was
Mhm.
already, as I said, it was already there. But when he spoke those words into my life, and honestly, I wasn't able to really receive it. I heard it,
Okay.
and I felt like it touched me. But those words that was spoken was that I had been having been waking up out of my sleep and my hands were burning. And
Mm.
my husband at that time was telling me to tell my bishop. And I was like, no, I didn't feel the need to do so.
Mhm.
Um, Without me telling him, he was a prophetic man that just had such a greater anointing on him that he could just do what he did, and that was read people and speak the word of God over their life.
Mm.
And he prophesied in my life. And as I stood in that line, I'll never forget the words that he spoke to me was that I had healing hands, and God was going to allow me to heal women. But Carol, the way that I received it, I kind of dismissed it, and it
Okay.
was, oh well, no, that can't be me. That can't be for me. Now I knew my hands was burning, and I knew something was going on with these hands, and I knew that it meant something, but I didn't receive the fact that I was told I would be going around laying hands on people. But that's not what Bishop Ford said. What he said was you will be healing women with those
Mhm.
hands. But although I didn't receive it that way, it was until years later I realized through the books, through the projects that I work on, and just doing the many things that I do, I am healing women with these hands. I am healing women. And with so many platforms that we're able to reach now, it is all around the world. So
Mm,
that
mm.
prophecy was real, and the prophecy came true.
I'm curious to know what kind of workshops do you have with Walk in Them Shoes? How, well, I'll start there. I'll start there.
So in the workshops that I host, so I also do mentoring to the young girls, the youth in the Philadelphia area here. So I'll host workshops with them, but I
Okay.
also host workshops. In fact, I have one coming up July 13th, which is called Etna's House. And doing so many different things. I'm just any way that I can reach a woman,
Hmm.
any way that I can reach someone, and trying to heal them. I'm doing it because now in my mind, I'm ready to start writing out a little play with this Etna's House workshop.
Okay.
But I host workshop, and most times it's like either workshops around Mother's Day, around that time of the year. I do speaking engagements. But this workshop that I have coming up, I'm very excited about. It is July 13th, Thursday, July 13th at 7 p.m. And it's actually a free workshop. It's a free workshop that will be hosted on Zoom. Um, I was supposed to been to put this out, but it just came out now. And doing the many things that I do, I was just able to really get it together where I want it, so that way when someone asks about it, I'm ready to share. But it is a Zoom workshop. This one is free, and I don't mind doing free workshops because what it does is it helps someone. Because a lot of times women don't get the help that they need because of lack of resources, yes, but also the lack of funding.
Hmm.
And funding is
Hmm.
that resource sometimes. So this will be hosted on Zoom, and you can go to my website, which is walkinthamshoes.llc.com, and register for Etna's house. And
Edna's house. Okay, so I have all kinds of questions right now. So you were clear about, you said there's really, well, no, no, no. Okay, let me back up. Is there an age group? I did hear you say that you work with young women as well, but is there an age range, I should say?
So
Okay.
yes, being in the business that we are, we have to have this niche, and narrowing down or narrow in on this niche,
Mhm.
they want you to be more specific and categorizing your audience. But I'm willing and I'm open to work with all women, no matter what the age range is. But
Okay.
yes, between 35 to 55 was originally what I had set out for. I
Okay.
do work with a lot, as I said, a lot of the young teens, and I'm passionate about that. And I'm actually I have a part of my organization has developed a program called Girls with Grace. So I'm
Okay.
passionate about that, but I'm even more passionate about helping women, and women that are not my age, that may be older. I am over 50. And women that are older, there's always something that can be learned from a woman that is, whether she's younger or older. And I
Sure.
communicate with all. So I'm willing to help each and every, no matter what your age range is.
So I'm curious to know, you shared with us that you have Edna's house, the workshop Edna's house coming up. Um, of what will the workshop consist?
So this workshop, now I've done workshops where I'm in person, and I really do, I wouldn't say prefer, but I enjoy them the most because it's interactive. You know, um, I've done workshops such as Beauty for Ashes, rooted to the rooted in the Word. Um, those are hands-on where I'm actually teaching you different things to do, and it's interactive, but it helps take your mind off of what you're going through. But in the process, you're getting something from it to be able to apply to your life to help you with your situation. So with Edna's house, of course, it's on Zoom, so it's not too much of a and hands-on that we can do, but it
Mhm.
is interactive. It's not me just speaking. It's not me just talking. It's asking questions. It's showing slides, and it's allowing women to engage in conversation. And Etna's house tip, and well, I don't go into much detail about it, but where did I get Etna's house from? Because I
Mhm.
look at women and I say, don't allow Etna to tear down your house. And Etna is that emotionally disturbed woman. Etna is that depressed woman. Etna is that, what I say, Etna is ABNA, is that narcissist. Etna is also that
Mhm.
angry woman. And then you have the S on the end of that is because you also have a woman that is saved. But in the midst of her being saved, she can suffer the many challenges that I just spoke on. She can suffer with being angry. Women go to church every day, and it's part of trying to get your life right, but you can be in that word and still dealing with anger, resentment, hurt,
Sure.
frustration, depression. So I want to meet women where they are. And on this journey of becoming, it is tough. And as I said, you could be married, you could be single, you can have a big family support system. But sometimes behind closed doors, those tears, those stains on the pillow,
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
the tears that we cry because of the hurt or even because of not being able to share that with others.
So I'm curious to know, as I'm listening to you speak, do you meet when you meet in person with the women? Do you meet in a group setting, or do you meet with women individually, or how do you
The
conduct?
workshop, the
Yes.
workshops are group setting. And
Okay.
anytime I have an individual, like a one-on-one, most often that is through Zoom or on
Oh,
as a
it's
telephone.
virtual. Okay. If you do a one-on-one, it's typically virtual.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So, what does like a normal day, an average day? I mean, I hate saying the word normal because I don't think that even exists. But what is an average day for you?
Well, I work full time. I work full time as a AA, administrative assistant in a hospital. I also work my job. I no longer work my business part time. I work it full time because I believe in as an entrepreneur, if you're working on your business, you should put in as much time as you do someone else's. In fact, a little more. So yes, I work full time, and in between the full time and my job, I am a mother of three young adult children
Oh my goodness.
and six grandbabies. I am in love with them little people. They are my light. Okay, they are my light, my life, my love.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm a family. I'm a family lady. Like I love family.
Would you listen? You would have to listen. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful though. It's beautiful. You got the grandbabies and you and you're out here. So I'm curious. I know you were telling us of your calling, and you were telling us how the bishop was prophetic in speaking it to you. But I'm curious to also know: was there ever a desire to widen your reach to men, or has it always specifically been to just women?
Oh God, Carol, where are you going with this? You don't even know, but I'm going to share with you. Um, so initially, of course, it was knowing that just connecting, my connection with
Hmm.
women, and how I'm a personable person, so connecting with women was just like the natural.
Hmm. Hmm.
Never really had the problems where women are always talking like, oh, they hate me. I have a problem with this one and that one. I never had that. So it was
Hmm.
just kind of common, and then it just was kind of just like I knew. But fast forwarding, I guess when I started this 20 in 2017, fast forwarding, some years later, it was like, okay, when I put it out there as to what it was that I was doing, men were just right there. Can you help me?
That's why I ask. And, we all need a little help. That's
We
exactly why I ask.
We do. And I do help men, but there's some restrictions. And there's, you know, some men have, ulterior motives and really don't want the help, but they just want to be by
Mm,
your side or they just want to be in your presence. And I ran into that so often to the point it was just like, okay, now I know. And one of my coaches said to me, because I asked that question, like, why is it that I get a lot of men that is asking for this help when I'm very specific when I say walk in them shoes. A lot of people think it's about the heels. It's not about the heels. I do love heels. I love shoes, but it's not about that. It's the empowerment. But my coach said, stick to what you know. You're being specific.
mhm,
She said, stick to what you know because at one point in time I was like, it was just too many. It was just too
mhm,
many. And friends, yes, I don't mind. And there have been people who reached out, see what I do, and they ask. We get on a telephone call and they're sharing, and I'm helping,
mhm,
but it's just not. I mean, I feel good in helping them,
mhm,
but it's just
mhm,
something about when I'm speaking to a woman and I'm asking this lady these questions, I'm so able to relate to some of the things that they go through. And I think that's where such the passion come in at is that I've either been there or I'm so curious about how did she get there? How did she get there? And
mhm.
now how can we orchestrate um, a plan to get you out of there or get you, to help elevate you into a different level in your life. So that confirms it in my spirit that this is where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. Okay. So I'm in processing the information that I shared with our family members that your focus on personal development is by working holistically and spiritually. What does that process look like?
So so the reason why I shared holistically is because now I've always been a spiritual person. I was raised in the church. I raised my children in the church. And now, as a mother and grandmother, my grands are being raised in the church as well. And I just want to say, I'm going to answer that question, but just to share love with my children, my three young adult children who probably are watching, Shaquetta, Tyrone, and Taisha. Love them children so very much. And I think had it not been for the experience that I had as a young adult and raising them, I wouldn't be the woman, of course, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. And now, being the loving mother that I am, the spiritual mother that I am, having that connection with God, and then the passion for what I do, I'm able to pour into them. And they allow me. They don't reject me. They allow me. So I'm grateful for that. Um, so what that looks like, Carol, is I suffered with anxiety. So the reason why I say holistically is because when I was diagnosed with anxiety, I really didn't know what it was. I really
Mhm,
didn't know what was going on with me. And I've always worked in the healthcare field. So you would have thought that I would have been able to recognize it right away, and I wasn't. I was functioning. You know how we have functioning addicts who go to work every day and, they're functioning under the influence. I was functioning under anxiety,
mhm,
always had anxiousness, worried about my children, worried about how I'm going to make ends meet, worried about this, that, the other. And I was on medication. When this doctor prescribed this medication for me, I took this one medication tablet and it relaxed me so much. And I initially started with like a half a tablet. And
mhm,
starting with a half a tablet, I was relaxed. And then it became like, okay, things were going on in my life. And it was like I became dependent on it to the point where now I don't want to take a half tablet. I want to take a whole tablet because now I know I'll be good all day.
mhm,
And that wasn't right. And I wouldn't, I mean, I use being addicted to that very carefully because it wasn't like an addiction where I lost myself in it, but it
mhm,
did become an addiction to the point where I felt like dealing with this particular job, I needed something to help keep me calm. So it was either, Dar, you gonna move out of it, get out of this job, or you got to do something because you can't stay on this medication. And it was an addictive type of medication, which could have escalated into something even more.
Right.
I began to work on myself. I began to incorporate meditation. I began to walk. That's really literally where walking started in my life years ago.
Wow.
I've always had a prayer life, but it was nothing like what it is now. And I believe had it been, I probably wouldn't have had to take the medication route. So I began to apply things to my life holistically, more spiritually, and it helped me. And I've been off that medication, and it's probably been like 5-6 years now,
Wow.
So yeah, and I heard you say that you're a tea drinker. I am such a tea drinker.
Oh my, listen, I just put my last commercial break. I put my mug because I finished. I can take my sips. But I love my tea. Listen, everybody that knows me that has been in my home will tell you I have an entire, almost a wall of teas. I have all kinds of tea because I love tea. I mean, green, of course. I have my matcha, but I, I am a tea drinker. I mean, I have tea leaves, everything. So listen, we could have a tea conversation, but I'm.
That's part of the remedy, though. That really is. Herbal teas are really a part of the remedy.
For me, they are as well. For me, they truly, truly are. I was just about to say, I commend you for recognizing when you were talking about, taking the medication and then saying to yourself, okay, no, we can't, we're not going to do this. We can't stay here. Something has to change because it all begins there. It definitely begins there. And then, making the movement follows once you acknowledge and recognize. That's the first step. So I commend you. And now you've taken that and you're helping other people. You're helping others. Family, I've gotten so carried away. I'm listening to Lady Dar talk with us about the company and how she's out here helping us, empowering us. But if you've just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. What we're going to do is take just a short commercial break, um, and we'll be right back. So stay with us.
Listen up, Philly. This July 9th from 12 to 6 p.m., come out to the Black Chef Showdown hosted by Katika and Black Mobile. This epic culinary competition will feature 12 of the most talented Black chefs and restaurants in Philadelphia, all vying for the title of the best cheesesteak in Philly and a $500 cash prize. Sample all kinds of cheesesteaks from salmon, vegan, to brisket, and many other varieties. Come out to the Black Chef Showdown July 9th from 12 to 6 p.m. at the 2300 Arena in South Philly. Get your tickets at blackchefshowdown.com. You don't want to miss it.
Hey, did you feel that?
Feel what?
Feels like a wave just hit me. I think something's happening at Wurd Radio.
Are you ready?
Wurd Radio's rocking the boat and bringing you new programming. Beginning Monday, June 26th, check out some of your old favorites and new additions in new time slots. New position. Morning Drive begins with The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders, Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., followed by Wake Up with Wurd with Solomon Jones, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Get your news and entertainment from Reality Check with Tanya Pendleton, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Keeping it real with Reverend Al Sharpton returns to the middays, Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Your drive time remains enlightened by Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro, Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And grab a nightcap from Loveandlife with Carol Riddick, Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Listen on air and online at wurdradio.com. Wurd Radio, celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters, like having game night at home. Yeah, can't Do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the US get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Wurd family, it's that time again. Our special early bird membership drive. Hi, I'm Sarah Lomax, Wurd president and CEO. We need your support now more than ever, especially this year when we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. For the last 2 decades, WURD has been the only place in Philly where our people can speak and be heard in their own voice every day, all day long. Your membership support has allowed us to expand our programming, deepen our community engagement, and provide culturally relevant information across all of our platforms, on air, online, on social media, and through community outreach events. If you're not a Forward member yet, please join or renew today at the discounted rate of $75. Visit us at wordradio.com/earlybird. Thanks so much.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. We are back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. We are joined by Lady Dar, none other than Miss Darnice Bragg, who is here talking with us about Walk in Them Shoes. Before I ask our next question, which will probably be the last, I'd like to recognize some of our family members who have joined the room and the conversation. You know, I'd like to let you know that we know that you are there if I see that you comment. Miss Phyllis, hi there. Brother Joey Dixon, hi there. Thank you for joining us as well. Dolores Davis, thank you for joining us as well. Miss Julie, I'm going to let Miss CT, well, she'll probably hear me as I say thank you from you for giving the good wellness advice to Brother Ron and to Miss CT. Miss Rosalind, hi there. She's sharing some love as well, sending all that good love to us. And Miss Melissa Gamble, who is also sharing love. Hi there, Rick. Just Rick. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all, family, for joining us as we near the end of the show. I want to ask this last question. It'll probably be the last. Lady Dar, I shared with our family members that with all of the things that you do to help us, to strengthen us, to, along our journeys and to empower us, that you also help women to start their own businesses. How do you do that?
Well, thank you so much, listeners. Thank you so much to our family. Your family is now my family. So thank you so much. Thank you. So I also formed an organization called Black Women About Business. And that organization is designed to help empower us as women too, but it shifts into the dynamics of being an entrepreneur. And Carol, I wasn't always, I grew up, my mother worked 2 jobs most of the time. So all I knew was to go to work, go to work. You want more money, get a second job. You want to be able to do other things, then, get another job. So I didn't always have that entrepreneur mindset. And when that came my way, that opportunity was presented to me, I second guessed it, of course, thinking that maybe that wasn't for me or that I had to have so much money and had to be in this position to do this, that, or the other. And that's not so. So I want to encourage other women who have stumbled across what their talents are, what their gifts are. I actually, in and empowering women through my organization, Walking in Shoes. When you go through this particular course, I help you to tap into your gifts and your talents, because it's in all of us. We're created in God's image, and He gave us the many talents. Sometimes we're unaware because we have yet to tap into it, or had someone in our lives to show us how, to help usher us or help cultivate us into that mindset. So yes, with Black Women About Business, it helps women to start, finding out what they love to do, what they're good at, and help them form their LLCs or whatever, status they choose. But it's just helping them formulate this business, whether it be a side hustle or something they go after full throttle. It's just helping them to see life different through an entrepreneur eyes.
I love that. So you help women walk through the process of creating or starting, forming their companies.
Yes. And I want to eventually get to that part where I'm helping, and instead of just making a few thousand that you're making, getting to the 6 and 7 figures. I'm not there yet. But yes, help many to start. Some people had it here, but even speaking about it was just like something they just never did. So in having conversations, you realize, oh wow, I am good at this. Oh, yes, I can make some money off of this. Oh yes, I can help someone in doing this and also reap the benefit of receiving an income. So I actually I have Black Women About Business Expo coming up. September 16th, Saturday, September 16th from 1 p.m. For those of you who are in the Philadelphia area, looking for vendors now. To be a part of this women's empowerment. So also, which should be on my Black Women About Business site. So yeah, I'll definitely share all of that information. I love seeing a woman really get started and just start taking off and doing what she's doing.
Okay, I want to remind our family members because I'm looking at the time. So on July 13th, you have a workshop, Edna's House. It's a virtual workshop. And on September 16th, you have an expo coming up, Black Women About Business. Is information about both on your website, or are there two separate websites? Or
really is two separate websites. So here's a caveat with the Black Women About Business. If you know Google will suspend your website if you have more than one address, or if you have something. And I wasn't aware that initially that I needed to change. When I moved, I wasn't aware that I needed to change the address. And somehow I started a new one and changing the address. So they suspended it, and it's been suspended since March, but most of it will be on Instagram under Black Women About Business. You can always get updated there. But also walkingthemshoesllc.com will have that information on there until Google releases the account.
Google. Family, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's time that I begin to let you know that we're coming to the end of our time together tonight. You know what I always do, and that is first and foremost that I like. Well, you know what? First and foremost, I thank God, and I have not done that. I don't do that here. Well, guess what? Starting tonight, I am. So first and foremost, thank you, God. But I extend my gratitude to you. To each and every one of you as you continue to support Love and Life. Thank you so much for doing so. Special thanks to our callers, both Brother Ron and Miss CT, and for the information that you shared. Thank you so much. Special thanks to both our guests, both Dylan Swain and Lady Dar, Darnice Bragg. Thank you, family, for joining us on our socials. You know I love it when you do. Hey there, Nico. I didn't see you earlier. You know I love it when you do. I just love it when you join us and you let us know that you're here and are participating in the conversation. I want to extend, some extra gratitude to the entire WURD family. All of the family. Hey there, cuz. Hey, Sherry. Kayla J, and Niall Jax for all that you do. Family, we're in this together. So be good to you, but also be good to those around you. You hear me? Have a great night and be sure you join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night, y'all.